Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our fourth webinar for Medical Wellness Congress. We are now in connection with many participants. I will give you 30 seconds for everybody to connect. My name is Vladi Kovanik. I am the director of the Congress of Medical Wellness Congress. This first Congress in Europe, in the world, is organized with the help of Health and Beauty and Hotel and Spa. And we are very happy today welcome three eminent specialists in a luxury and wellness industry. We are connected in Italy with our ambassador, Madame Raffaella Dallarda. Raffaella Dallarda is eminent spa expert and ambassador in Italy. She is a blogger. She is master of the business school in Rome, and she is working with a lot of very important journalists, very important companies, and she is a blogger, and her social profile is tremendous. And I am very happy she will moderate today this fourth webinar. We have in Dubai a very special personality from wellness industry, Sami Gariani. Sami Gariani is a founder of a huge Gariani group based in Germany. He is a owner of this leading manufacturing from high-end spa and beauty and medical industry. They are dealing with more than 100 countries in all over the world. And Sami Gariani is one of the best experts in manufacturing. We have in Italy Architetto Alberto Apostoli. Alberto Apostoli is an eminent personality and award-winning architect and trendsetter in wellness industry. He has designed numerous and wonderful spas all over the world, and his ideas, his equipment, it is an iconic art for wellness and architecture. So all participants, welcome. I'm speaking from Paris, but I will have now the right to speak to Raffaella Dallarda. She will moderate all these 30 minutes webinar. Have a nice time.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited and glad, Vladi, and so welcome to our stars for today. So just details for our participants. In any case, you need to ask some questions. We have a direction behind us, so they are so kind to reply you back. Okay, in any case, you could write in the chat. Okay, we are connected. So a very warm welcome to our panelists. So hi Alberto, we are very close, we are in Italy, and hi Sami, very welcome. You are in the paradise now, you are in Dubai. So we are talking about a love story. I love the storytelling, but especially the love story. And Odi et Amo, it's a Latin incipit from Catullo, a very known writer from the past. So it's very important to compare the ancient tradition with the new knowledges, especially in our in the spa industry, okay, in our sector. So I'd like to start with Alberto. Alberto, the title of our meeting is Odi et Amo. Old trends versus new paradigms for a Medi-Wellbeing. We are talking about Medi-Spa, Medi-architecture. So a medical spa design is a strange love story for an architect, a designer like you, So how do design and architecture manage to contribute the spa industry?
Uh, Hi, Rafaela, and hi, everyone. Let's say that the relationship between medical medical aspect and wellness design, it's really a tricky thing. Firstly, because normally, when you think about medical, you think about very neutral spaces, very wide spaces, not very emotional spaces. But if you add to this thing the spa experience, you need to create something that is really in between spa design, wellness design, like everybody thinks about it, and medical aspect. So it's a strange combination because from one aspect you need to be very rational, very pure. So the design has to be very serious. Let's say, medical spa, it's half percent an hospital, okay? Because you need to be cured by the medical treatments. It's not only emotion, it's also a treatment, a really good treatment that can solve your problems. So you have this aspect, and then you have the emotional aspect. Well-being, wellness is something that has to be in between emotions, and emotion can heal people. Emotion is not only just to be happy or just to be, emotion are the capacity to heal and to cure our body. It's not me, it's science. So it means that the capacity to design something that is able to cure using sensation, feelings, emotion, plus all the treatment, all the spa facility in terms of medicine, in terms of treatment, in terms of spaces. This could be a really good combination. Only this is the key point: how to combine emotion, how to combine wellness with the serious part of the medical aspect. The combination of the two things, it's the new way, and it's a very important way because people, nobody wants to live in a hospital, okay?
Of course.
Everybody wants to live in a wellness center or in a spa. But what about living in a space in which it's possible to be really cured? Because you need doctors, you need also the feeling, the human touch of a wellness people. So the really combination is the key point for every single project. I personally take care a lot about these two things. And the balance between these two things is the key point. It's not easy because normally architects tend try to be very, very naive in some things. Maybe sometimes they try to be very aesthetic, emotional design. They sometimes they use a lot of material that maybe is not pure, is not rational. They use wood, they use different material, but not all these material are good for medical. So the combination and the skills are how to read all the materials and the elements, because when we design spa, we don't talking about material, we are talking about elements, okay? And it's different. And lighting, colors have a part on the curing, uh, colors are able to cure people, really, scientifically talking. Maybe also the music, all
Music.
these elements, the senses are able to cure people. So the capacity of an architect like me, but also like others that works in the wellness, is how to read the classical elements that are normal using a wellness, try to put this solution in an upgrade, able not just to give you an emotion, an easy emotion, but an emotion that is able to cure your problems. And so it needs, by my side, also our research in terms of medical aspects. I personally I'm still studying the relationship between the colors and the human body, the light and the perception of the light by the people, and how the lights influence the person. So also by my side, but also by all the designers, we need to study a lot. There's a lot of things to study yet in terms of medical spa. It's now it's the very trendy sector for wellness, and we need a lot of research and combination with good producer like Sami it is, and also with other companies that are able to read the choices in terms of design into a real result on body and mind and soul of the people.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, especially because we need to educate also, because if you are very acute and awake to study, research, and create a sort of medi-spa, but we need also to educate and to teach and to do culture to the guests to appreciate and transform and transmute themselves energetically also in their inner wellness.
Sure. Let me just say one very quick thing. You know, there's still a prejudice in terms of energy feeling, in terms of, you know, all these things that are normally behind the wellness are considered by a lot of people just funny things. But the effect of some choices in terms of design are really, really effective on body and mind and soul. So we are not talking just to be, you know, naive. We are just talking to transform elements into real treatment. It's a challenging, but we need, of course, to communicate this to the client.
Okay, thank you. So, dear Sami, it's your turn. You are successful and international in your business. So of course, you have a company with 200 of employees in the 4 continents. How can you generate profitability or profits in the spa industry with the new needs of health and well-being, of course?
Okay, that's thank you for an introduction. That's a good question that you are asking. But before getting to this question, first of all, I think we have to determine where we're coming from and where we are going to. If you look at short term means like 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago and now. I'm not talking about 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 years ago with ancient Egyptians and the Romans that showed us already a lot of things that we are doing now. But it's funny because if you analyze the behavior of humanity, just between brackets, we had this reminder with COVID to think about ourselves more than before COVID, because we were going out, drinking, whatever. We will still do it, but I think it's really things that we are doing now. They did it thousands of years ago, for sure, under different aspects. Number one. Number two, so if you look at the short-term thing, we had the last 50 years, let's say 50 years, one side of the business was medical. We had one side was spa. And now we are talking about wellness, which became, when I think about my 30 years ago, the word wellness, I don't even know that it exists at that time. Maybe it exists, but I was not aware about this word wellness. It's funny how the 30 years, how many changes they came. And since I think 5 years, 10 years after I started my business, I heard the word first time. And now we are shifting from the spa to wellness. Wellness is a big word for sure. We all know in Germany, some people call the sausage also wellness sausage, but we don't want to go to that part of the wrong thing. Let's stay in our industry. And thank you, Vladi, for putting this medical and wellness conference together. Because if you see my notes and all my last new clients and next project for the next 5 years, you see always medical wellness. So just example of taking 2 examples which recently happened. One is in Puebla, Mexico, One is in Italy. So I start with Puebla, Mexico, with the one that is first. It's a hotel that has been turned to a wellness retreat center. It's a 61-suite hotel that is in the center of Puebla, Mexico, I think from 1700, 800, very iconic, where suddenly people realized, or the owner and some advisors, that if you want to survive nowadays, you have to think different. You have to bring, to rethink your business model. So these guys that analyze it, and for sure, no creation starts from zero. You always look around what's on the market. And we had companies and clinics like before, like Shah Wellness Clinic, Chenot, Clinique La Prairie, Canyon Ranch, etc., that showed us already this kind of work, but in a different aspect. It was like more medical. We worked like kind of, it was far away from us. But what happens now that this medical and wellness component is getting together. So I wanted to mention this the example from Puebla, Mexico, that just opened now. It's one of many, many examples where suddenly you rethink your business model. And I'm getting back to you, Rafaela, with the answer about profitability. At the end of the day, every business is about money. Now we have to think how to make this happen. Some people fail, some people win. There is another project that just opened recently, and I think is the process to open with COVID. Unfortunately, all the projects we worked on are in delay of opening. It's called Fuji, Palazzo Fuji, owned by, I think, the owner from Sardinia, the
Forte Village.
Forte Village, exactly.
The same group.
The same group. So, I mean, they're used to this Forte Village business of model like Club Med in France, etc. But it's interesting that their new project, it's called Medical Wellness Retreat. So they combine medical aspects of the business with wellness, spa and wellness that still uses the word spa, and put a big project together. So the big project, I'm sure you will read a lot about it in the news in the future, and I wish them all luck. In this case, it's also my client, but I wish everyone good luck when he starts with his own business. They realize that the trend is going there. And I think I'm not the only one. I'm sure Alberto works on this kind of project, and I'm sure he worked on, and it's a new trend. Whether it's called wellness retreat, medical wellness, only wellness made, we are all talking more or less about the same. But we have to be careful in terms of business model. A hotel, a resort is not the same as urban wellness retreat. Yeah, we have a project we are working on. I cannot tell, it's in 2 years, but it's an urban wellness retreat. So it's people come to the place, not for a holiday and beach and nice weather. It's just about wellness aspect, like all the other one has been doing, Shah Wellness Clinic and Co. Sorry, I cannot mention them all. It's always the same. To me, there is a kind of 10 names in my brain where it's all about because they were the first creating this concept. And even there, so I can tell you in the last 5 years, they've been not really listening to us. Please try new technologies, blah, blah, blah. It brings you new business model. You differentiate yourself. That's funny. Since 3 years, they're starting to listen because they see that you cannot be blind. There is things are moving forward. And as Alberto said, you always learn. I like it because every day I think I finish my school, but it never finishes the school because you every day learn things, a new combination of businesses, also new trends. And for sure, it's not an easy business for Alberto because you have to be expert in many different fields. For this, I think the future, and I'm coming back to Rafael, I'm not hiding from that question, is how to know enough to put things together. Because the complexity of the new business model. In the past, Alberto, you design a spa. We have a couple of treatment dry rooms, we call them. It's only massage, but now we're talking about concepts, etc. It's becoming a little more complicated. You have the sauna, hammam, and this kind of always more or less, let's call it copy paste and with a nice design. different design. But now the challenge is more complicated. First of all, when in terms of design and about architectural work, it's not easy, because I think there are not a lot of architects that can design, that can bring it, because you need to know, you need to be surrounded with people that give you the knowledge, because you cannot be expert in all of things. There are so many aspects. So saying that, I mentioned already the complexity of the business model. This means that in the past, someone can take a small loan from the bank and start his own spa. I'm not talking about hotel spa in general, but now it becomes a little more complicated. Now you need investors, you need big names. We have new projects where we are not talking about 1-2 million. We are talking really about 7 and 8 digits of businesses, where it becomes more complicated. So the question is, what is about the profitability and return on investment? This question is always...
In 30 seconds.
In 30 seconds, okay. I could tell it in 3 seconds. Return on investment means, at the end of the day, what is my business bringing? I can tell you, from all the old names I mentioned, so the known old ones, they are all very profitable. So we know that, okay? Now it's up to everyone to take the part of the cake to make it profitable. And for this, there are expertise. One last thing, information, which is very important, the key important, as important as the architect, the CRM. The CRM becomes a very important key, because you cannot handle 30 different aspects of medical and wellness and not knowing how to put all the input together. And this is a very helpful tool for the profitability of your wellness results.
29, 30 seconds. Great.
Finito.
Alberto, another question for you. So we have started from odietamo. It means love and hate in the same while. So how the creativity and the design, of course, in your sector, the design approach could take into strong health and a different kind of lifestyle in well-being, of course, to create love and hate on the part of the designer?
Yes, it's a very good question. As Sammy said, the key point for medical design is let me use a word that is normally used for wellness. It's a holistic approach, because we, as a studio, we normally take care a lot about the aesthetic things, how the spa looks like. But for sure, I need, and I try to do, I need to know how a spa is managed. Our spa, it's, the acoustic aspect, the color aspect, the lighting, for some time, the circadian cycle of the people, but also the technical aspect, the air exchange, the lighting, everything. So, by my point of view, we have a love story, because we love to create beautiful places, but it's not a hate, because we love in a different way all the other aspects. But if I want to create something, and I normally try to do it, is to manage all the aspects. As Sammy said, my studio use a very, we are director. It's not we are architect, we are director. So we got design, we got operational, we got budget, because the profitability, it's very important. And as you know, and probably all our viewers right now know exactly that creating a profitable spa is not easy, but it's possible. And of course, with a medical spa, it's easier, because numbers are different. People is willing to spend more money if they know that the treatment are real, not just fun.
Illusions.
Not just illusion. So by my side, I love design, but I need also to love. Let's say that I need to love also. I don't hate, but I need to love also all the other aspects. I think my client could say for me, but I know how a spa works in terms of operational, in terms of system, everything. So it's a direction. I must be a director. So one side it's aesthetic, one side is all the other rest. So I love I really love design, but I need to love also the other aspect. If I'm not able to do like this, I'm not a spa designer, I'm just a designer. But I am a spa designer. It's a completely different thing. And in the spa, all this comes out in a very strong way because medical spa, in the medical spa, there's no chance to make any mistake because it has to be serious and you are promising people that you are curing them using treatment. So it's not, we are not joking. We are creating really health and really good result for people. It's not a promise that can be, spread in the air. It's a fact, and you need to be serious and professional to achieve this goal. It's very important. This is my love story with medical spa.
I really appreciate a lot, really. Thank you. So, Sami, you have 4 minutes now, okay?
Okay.
So, old trends versus new paradigms, okay? So, welfare business in wellness after 2020, okay? So, what are your international, in your vision, your international foresights of the sector in the present future?
Okay, yes. First of all, thank you, Rafaela, for the question. Alberto, I think you are playing a game, the role, sorry, of kind of conductor as well, because you said director and conductor at the same time, because otherwise, if the conductor is not doing a good job, the music is not good. So it was my way of interpreting what you said. Going back to your question, Rafael, I think I mentioned a couple of aspects already in my first 5 minutes, I guess, that I've got. And first of all, I think we have to see the behavior of people after COVID, what is going to happen. Now the situation is that people stay in the same area. I mean, in the US, they find out there is a new tourism of the 200 miles or kilometers around people's place. So that means they take their car, they go there. So there is a new business happening now with providing services to the people that cannot fly away. And one of the reasons of this Puebla project, I remember the owner said, listen, people cannot travel to Mexico. Wealthy people, we are 2 hours away from Mexico City. There are a lot of wealthy people. They cannot come to Europe and go to these clinics. We want to bring it here. So this is a new aspect. We were, I think, all in the past traveling all over the globe to get our cure here, to do this. I think this is totally a new business model that is happening now. And even after, when people travel, it will take long time that people maybe become so bad behaved like we used to be in the past, traveling not really sustainable. If I think of one of my travels going to Australia for 24 hours, it's not sustainable at all. I would never do it again. I think people will rethink this type of travel. In terms of other business models, is, as I mentioned, and the theme is medical wellness. We all mentioned it. It's integrating both. And it's interesting because we get now impulse from the other side. I'm literally working on a couple of projects, and one specific, I cannot tell the area. This guy is a very famous doctor here since 25 years, and he has a clinic, and now suddenly he's creating this medical wellness clinic. For that purpose, what I liked in that thing, that he didn't put his people to develop this concept, because medical people have their way of thinking, the way of working, and he, in this case, he took someone that is really very into our industry to create the bridge, at least that there will no mistake. Because if you are a wellness, your background is wellness, you want to enter with a medical component, that can go very wrong. Vice versa, if you are a medical center, you think you make a small building of 200 square meters and suddenly it's a medical wellness, it doesn't work like that. So there are lots of business.
30 seconds.
Yes. Okay. Thank you very much for reminding me. So I think the last point I would say is that there are a lot of business opportunities coming, and thank you, Vladi, for putting this together, because this is the beginning of a new era. As I said, I had three milestones in my company. This is the fourth one. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for all. But I would like to say not only thank you for all, but as you see, we are precursor. And I am so happy to have Sami Gariani in our events for many, many years. And I know Mr. Apostoli also, I would like to say very long time. And thank you very much, because it is still a so huge pleasure to be with the best specialists and to see a new things. Thank you very much, Rafaela. And I hope we shall see all together on our Medical Wellness Congress, and you will have a news about development in the next days. Thank you very much.
So much.
Have a nice day.
And let's prepare the dress code for Vienna, of course.
Dancing dress.
For the Medi Congress. Let's prepare the dress code.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
We'll keep in contact.
Ciao.
Ciao, ciao.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Salut.
Ciao.
Yeah, ciao. Salve.